What is with me and spilling drinks?
This video is already off to a great start.
Okay, God. Ugh. So, first things first, I sound a little congested, and it's because I did get sick again. This is my second time filming this video, because in the first one, I kept the same thumbnail, so if my outfit doesn't match the thumbnail, that's why. But also, the reason why I wanted to redo this one was because I just hated it. So here we go with me quitting 20 book series. Exactly 20. I'm going to do my best to give you guys the reason why I'm quitting these book series, but just know that the majority of the reason is because I just didn't enjoy them. And I feel like I don't really need to explain myself further. I can be easily swayed, but a lot of these I just don't have it in me to continue, if that makes sense. So the first series is the Dream Harbor series. This is the series with the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, blah, 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 blah. I just don't like these, mostly because they kind of came off like they were these cute, cozy romances. But they're anything but cute, okay? Because the covers are cute, but the inside of the book is spicy. Like, the amount of spice was crazy. I am not somebody, though, that's just not gonna read spice, but it's like, if there's spice, if there's so much unnecessary spice, that's where it kind of gets the ick for me, okay? The stories themselves, like the plots, I just feel like they didn't go into that much depth. Most of the time, I just found myself really annoyed at the characters and annoyed at the spice. Like, the Christmas Tree Farm was crazy. I read the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, the Christmas Tree Farm, and the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, but I didn't read the others. Number 2, I feel bad about this one, but the Legendborn cycle, I only read Legendborn. This had a very unique plot and a very unique, like, concept, which is like the same thing. This book was about this girl named Bree, and it follows her going to this academy, and she's trying to kind of figure out her mom's death, but also she runs into a demon feeding on human energies, and she kind of was in the wrong place at the wrong time because she kind of gets involved with this group of people that are descendants of King Arthur's knights, and they're like magical. It's a lot, okay? The reason why I'm quitting this, the thought of going into the second book, I only read the first one, the thought of going into the second one gives me anxiety, and it's because it's very overwhelming to me, and I just felt too stupid to read it. And when I mean that, okay, I don't mean to insult myself. I'm not insulting myself. It's just, I know what I can retain in a book. I know what I'm comfortable with because I'm literally me. I know myself better than anybody. So it's like, I don't think I can handle it. And I just am like, okay, I know my reader's smartness, okay? I don't want to go into a book where I have to look up everything, because that's essentially what was happening in Legendborn. I kept having to look things up to understand things, and I don't want to do that constantly. Number 3, we've got Rebel Blue Ranch, done and dusted, okay? Sorry, I won't talk like that. Okay, done and dusted, Rebel Blue Ranch. That is a tongue twister. Rebel Blue Ranch. I only read Done and Dusted, and I just didn't like this book. And I hear a lot of people like it, and I'm just like, how? Like, you know, I don't want to yuck your yum. I've never said that out loud. I've never said that phrase out loud. Sorry. I love me a small town, country town book, okay? I mean, I live in one, basically. So it's fun to read and see how other people perceive, like, a small town, right? This kind of had, like, a brother's best friend. A girl comes back to her small town because she had something, it was like some sort of horse injury, something happened to her. Anyway, she came back to her small town, and then her brother's best friend sees her, and she's always kind of liked him. He's never really seen her that way, but suddenly she comes back and she's like hot, and he's like, oh, wait a minute. And that's kind of like how they started their like thing. And dude, for as short as that book was, the amount of spice was crazy, and it felt almost like weird, because I only like to read spice if it has a good amount of time for us to get to know the characters, to where I feel like, okay, like this makes sense that they get to this moment, right? For them, it was just weird. It just felt like they were just horny and just wanted to do each other. That's literally what it felt like. There was a part in it where I thought we were gonna get super in depth to like the guy character. I don't remember his name, but literally they spent maybe a page or 2 pages on his family life, which was something that the author had alluded to that he had a lot of trouble with, and I thought we were going to get into that. And honestly, if we did get to know more of his character in that way, I would have bumped it up from its original rating. But we spent 2 freaking pages on it. And then, you know, you could spend 5 pages on Spice, but you can't give me more than 2 pages on actual character depth and development. Okay. If the second book is better, maybe I would pick that series up again, because I like the idea of having a country like series other than Elsie Silver, because I feel like she's the only one that people go to for like a small town country series. If you guys have any recommendations for small town like country vibes, please let me know, because I'm actively looking. Number 4, Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. Okay, I'll stop talking like that. Okay, I read Love Light Farms like a year ago. I didn't like it. I don't know what it is. It just felt very like cringy to me. It was friends to lovers. Friends to lovers also isn't my favorite trope, so maybe that was why. But I just didn't really enjoy that book, and it kind of just made me not want to rate her other ones. I loved Good Spirits, right? But I don't know, I just don't have any interest in continuing the Love Light series. If those books are better than Love Light Farms, let me know. But I feel like if I don't like a first book in a series, I don't know, there's just a good chance that I'm not really gonna want to read the rest, if that makes sense. And number 5, surprisingly, we've got Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. This is going to be a 2-book series, I believe, and I love Stephanie Garber. You guys know this. She's one of my favorite authors. I love Caraval. I love Once Upon a Broken Heart. So when I heard Alchemy of Secrets is coming out, I was already on the fence about it, because it follows this girl named Holland, and it takes place in like modern day LA or something. I think it was LA, but she's trying to find this object called the Alchemy Heart, because if she doesn't, she'll die at midnight. So it was kind of like something where it's like racing against the clock. There's a lot of references to like old Hollywood and like movies and films and stuff, and I didn't love that, because that's just not something that I particularly enjoy in general. I don't really care about that stuff, so that's probably why I didn't like it. But in the beginning, I was really interested in it, but then it just kind of lost me. It just goes to show that even like your favorite author might not write something that you enjoy. So, and that's okay, totally fine. So, not going to continue with that one. Number 6, The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. I read this in February. So this is the Eternal Path trilogy. There's going to be 3 books in this series. The first one is the only one out, and I was really excited about this one and a little intimidated, because it is a big book and it is like an adult fantasy, and I don't really read those without the romance attached to it. So it was more giving like adult fantasy. In this book, The Raven Scholar, there are a few different categories of like people. So you have the ravens, the oxes, the bears, the monkeys, the hounds. Then at some point, every however many years, I don't remember how many years, a new emperor has to be chosen. And the way they choose a new emperor is each person from each one, like raven, monkeys, hounds, whatever, they enter into the trials, and they have, you know, a competition to see who gets to be emperor, right? It was good, but it's just, it is very slow. It's like a slower paced kind of book, and I don't really love that. There's a lot of characters you had to remember. There was a lot going on, but also not a lot going on at the same time. It's hard to explain, and I get why people rave about this book, but it just wasn't for me. I just like things a little more like fast-paced, right? And I just didn't feel that, but like I could see a lot of people really enjoying this book, okay? So if you kind of like the slower paced fantasies, you don't really care about romance, you like the idea of trials, and there is a very diverse cast of characters as well. The way that the author described these characters was also really neat, because they would kind of take on the features of like their animal. Does that make sense? This book was just not for me, but I could see a lot of people really enjoying it. So if you like books like that, definitely give Raven Scholar a chance, but for me, I just don't want to continue it. Number 7, The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I only read the first one, and we are keeping it that way because I have no desire to continue this series. I can't even describe to you why I don't want to continue this series, but the main reason is because this book just felt all over the place. But I will say though, it did feel like I was reading really, really fast because the chapters are really, really short, and I love that. I love me some short chapters. I just got really confused and didn't care about the characters really at all. And I know a lot of people love this series. I'm kind of nervous to get into the Naturals by her. I think I will give the Naturals a shot, especially because a lot of people really, really enjoy it. But the Inheritance Games was not for me. This is just about this girl named Avery that inherited this old guy's stuff, and she has to like live in the mansion for like a year in order to receive everything. There was like riddles and codes and puzzles, and I was really excited about that part because I love Nancy Drew, okay? Nancy Drew computer games, sign me up. But it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like I was Nancy Drew. It kind of just felt like I was in a circus because it just felt like there was so much going on. Number 8, Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. Listen, this is like a 5-book series. Why? I don't know. So I was really excited to go into this because it's another like mystery thriller, YA mystery thriller kind of vibe, right? And I love those. I think they're fun, you know, and it takes place in this like little academy. She goes to this academy thing, you know, she's trying to go and figure out this one thing. There was like a murder that happened a long time ago and she wants to go and like solve it. Then she kind of just got really distracted with a bunch of other things. So it kind of just went from this girl trying to solve this mystery to high school drama. And I was like, okay, and maybe that's what I get for reading a YA book like that, I don't know. But I just remember all of a sudden, she's just rolling on the floor making out with some guy, and I was like, what does this have to do with the plot? It doesn't matter. Not gonna continue that series. I tried, don't want to, we're done. Okay, and number 9, Butcher and Blackbird. I don't know what this series is called. I think there's 3 books in this series. I didn't hate Butcher and Blackbird. I just don't think that this kind of genre is for me. It's like that rom-com, dark rom-com vibe. Like, there's serial killers that kill bad people. While it was like fun, I just didn't really care. I just don't think I have the desire to continue on. I think it would be like a funny show, but I don't think that I would read it. Oh, the next couple are actually kind of in the dark romance genre. So number 10 is Promises and Pomegranates by Sav R. Miller. So I read this book like a year ago. Anyway, I read this because my sister let me borrow it, and it was some kind of Hades and Persephone, not retelling. No, what was it? See, I can't even tell you. All I can tell you though was there was a part in it that was really cringy because like the guy, I am pretty sure the guy in it did stuff with the girl's mom. And I was like, that's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line. That's sick. Number 11, the Never After series by Emily McIntyre. The Never After series is kind of following a different take on the Disney characters. And I loved Scarred, don't get me wrong, but it was really hard to not imagine lions the whole time, but they're not lions, they're people. It was cool how she put little elements from the story into her story, right? And it would like make sense. I don't think I can picture people differently like that, so that's why I'm not going to continue this. Like for Captain Hook, I can't picture Captain Hook any different way. I can't picture him attractive. You know how hard that is? Number 12, this one's a little confusing. Archer's Voice, I think, is an interconnected series, okay? It's called where Love Meets Destiny, and there's like 2 other books after this, but then there's a book after Archer's Voice called Travis, which is a character in Archer's Voice. Either way, I'm not going to continue this one, and who knows, maybe I'll find myself picking up another one of her romance books because I really did like Archer's Voice a lot. I just didn't have any desire to read Travis. That was mostly the reason why I put this on the list, but who knows, I might pick up one of her books in her romance, like where, I don't even know, I don't know, it's really confusing. When I click on Goodreads, it says Where Love Meets Destiny. It shows like a book called More Than Words and something else, but Travis isn't on there, but Travis is obviously a part of this world. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to continue that, but I am interested in reading more of her books though. Number 13, I wish I could breathe through my nose properly. The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. We all know, for some reason, there's like 4 books in this series. I read the first 2. The second one was fun, but I don't see the point in continuing on with it. See, it's like when you have like one good book and it does really well, they just want to like add on to it, and I get it. But I don't care to continue it. Number 14, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I forgot her name, Holly Jackson. I read the first one. I actually really enjoyed it. The audiobook is fantastic. I thought it was great. But I just don't see a point in continuing on with this series because I feel like the first one ended on a really good note. So I don't know what the second one could be about, and I guess like I could just try it out if I wanted to, but like I just don't really have that desire unless it's really good. I just worry that I won't like it because a couple of her other books that she's written I haven't loved, and I just don't know if it's just gonna not be good. And I don't want it to like ruin the experience of the first book for me, if that makes sense. Okay, and number 15, If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. I read the first one. I think that BookTok and BookTube in general ruined this book for me. Everyone's like, oh, it's sad, it's gonna devastate you, and then you can just guess what's gonna happen. I think that if I read it without knowing, I think I would have been devastated and I would have wanted to go into the second one, but I just didn't care because I knew the whole time how it was gonna end. Basically what I ended up doing was I wanted to know what happened. I went into the bookstore, flipped to the end, and read it a little and then put it back. I figured out what happened. Also, I didn't really love her writing style, so that was another reason why I didn't want to really get into it, but these next couple are a little bit silly, but I wanted to add them to the list, okay? Number 16, Maximum Ride. So the reason why Maximum Ride is on this list is because my sister, a long time ago when we did a book swap, she had me read Maximum Ride. It was okay. I could see for early 2000s everyone loving it, but I'm obviously not going to continue the series, so that's why it's on the list, so. Same goes for number 17, Naked in Death by Nora Roberts. My mom had me read this book because I wanted to do a video where my mom suggested books for me to read. So I did that, and Naked in Death, like the series, is like 60 books. It's basically following this woman who's like a detective, and she is going through all these different mysteries. So that's why the series is so long. So you can kind of read them out of order. But yeah, obviously I'm not going to finish that series. Number 18, A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. This book was so boring. It was so boring, and we were just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for a specific thing to happen. I didn't love it. The epilogue was really good. The epilogue had me shook, but there is a second book. I think it's called A Thousand Broken Pieces. I don't have any desire to read it, so. Okay, number 19, The Love Wager, which is the Mr. Wrong Number series by Lynn Painter. I forgot her name. Lynn Painter. So I didn't love The Love Wager. It was like very much okay, but she obviously is way better at writing YA books. But I'm just not gonna read any adult books by Lynn Painter unless they're like really good. I just don't like her adult books. She obviously is very talented with writing YA, so I'm gonna stick with that, but that's the reason why I'm not gonna continue that series. And the last one. So this series is called the Twisted Thorn series by Ange T. Dalton. I thought about it and I'm not gonna continue this series, and it's because I think it had a lot of potential, but I just didn't really enjoy it because it's mostly following our main girl. It is very much about her emotional journey a little bit mixed with the fantasy vibe. Like you've got the dragons, you got the magical school, and you can be like a fire wielder, earth, water, kind of giving Avatar: Last Airbender and Fourth Wing. You know, it was cool, but I just don't think I have the desire to pick it up. But I am gonna like maybe consider picking it up, but at the moment I'm not gonna continue the series. When we got to the end, it just felt like so many other popular fantasy books, and I'm saying that because of just this reveal at the end, and I'm like, oh, this is just like da-da-da, or this is just like da-da-da, and I feel bad because this is kind of like a newish author that's trying to get her book out there. I feel bad, but I just didn't connect to it like other people would. So yeah, that is number 20, and we are done. Hopefully I don't film this video again for a third time. That is a 20 series that I'm not going to be continuing. I can't believe just like that, 20 series are gone. So with that being said, I don't know how many series I'm in the middle of at the moment now, but maybe in a different video we can talk about it, like sit down and discuss. I don't know. Do y'all care? I have no idea. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm so sorry that you had to hear me so stuffy like this. It's really annoying. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!